Hello, lovely. It's Yasmin from Tiny Time Big Results. And today I want to address the question of why you may not be getting enough sales calls booked in, i.e. you don't have a diary full of appointments with qualified prospects, people who are eager to work with you. And this can happen to every single business when suddenly you might have enjoyed a really great run of sales calls booked in and then nothing. Or you might just be experiencing a bit of a drought in your business. So I want to address some of the reasons why you might not be getting enough sales calls booked in. Now, the very first thing that I want to address is the question of what is enough. You know, if you've got tiny time and you've got 15, 20 hours a week for your business, then chances are a big chunk of those will be for sales calls, but you wouldn't want to have say 20 sales calls booked in because that's all of your time pretty much gone. Of course, it depends on how long your sales calls are. But so when it comes to a tiny time business, we have to know what that number is. And this is really important. And it's something that I do address in my book, Tiny Time Big Results. So if you haven't got a copy, get the copy. Because it's something that I address because I don't think that people pay enough attention to this. How many sales calls do you actually need for your business for you to be able to bring those sales in and to make the income that you want and to hit your monthly goals and your targets? You see, the reality is you might only need 2 clients every single month. Okay, so instead of thinking, oh my God, I've got to have 20 sales calls every month, imagine you have a 50% conversion rate. That means that you convert half of your calls. So if you only need 2 new clients, then that means you only need 4 calls booked in. So it's really important to understand what the number is for you in your business. So like, what is enough? You know, if you're thinking my target is that I want to have 5 calls booked in every single week, then that's your number. Okay, so when you're thinking, well, I'm not getting enough sales calls booked in and you only have 1, then yes, that's the reality. But if you're getting 4 booked in, that's actually very good. And so you don't have to be panicking as much, if you like. Not that I recommend panicking as a business strategy, because it very rarely works. Okay, so first of all, I want you to think about your numbers. Like, so how many is enough and how many do you actually want to get? So it's really important to know your numbers. Go back over your data if you've been tracking it and see what is your conversion rate. And that can help you to determine how many sales calls you actually need to get booked into your diary. Okay. Secondly, think about how you're positioning the sales call. And most people know that when you're booking a discovery call or a strategy call, that there is an element of a sales piece to that. Now, it doesn't mean that it's a pushy call or anything like that. It just means that it's an opportunity for you to be able to connect with someone that you might be really interested in working with and finding out more about how they work and whether it's a good fit. And for you as the business owner, it's also an opportunity for you to be able to determine whether that person is a good fit for you. So, you know, you're interviewing both ways. It's not just that they're interviewing you and you're saying, please give me the business. It's not true, because it goes both ways. So think about how you're positioning that. And, you know, I like to talk about the fact that I don't do pushy sales. For me, it's very much about making sure that it's a good fit. So by the time someone books a call with you, they're already thinking about booking with you, working with you. So think about how you position it, because you don't want to be putting out lots of offers for calls where people think that they're going to get something from you and then you give them something completely different, i.e. they then feel pressured because they suddenly think, oh, this is a sales call. You said it was a coaching call. And now they think, now they are under the impression that it's now a sales call, but they weren't under that impression when they first booked. And so when it suddenly turns that way, if you're not upfront about it in the first place, then that can be really, it can be really uncomfortable, it can be really awkward, and it doesn't leave a good taste in your mouth. And so you want to be very open and honest and transparent about what you are offering. So I talk about, I offer a triage call. And that triage call is exactly what it sounds like. So when you go to the hospital, you know, a nurse does a triage of like, let's, you know, look at your symptoms and let's look at what the problem is, and, you know, and then be able to make a decision based on that. And so it's an opportunity for me to be able to understand what that person is struggling with, and for them to be able to understand as well, so that through the questions that I ask, they think, oh God, that's where I'm really struggling. And so it's a real diagnosis, if you like. So I'm very clear about that. And what I always aim to do in my calls is to make sure that you walk away with ideas, plans that you can start to implement, even if I'm only talking to you for a short period of time. But the key thing here is that when somebody books a call with you, you be transparent about what the outcome is going to be. So what are you going to walk away with? Now, I book discovery sessions, strategy sessions with people who I'm interested in working with, because I want to get to know them, I want to get to connect with them. And so I don't get flustered about the fact that then that person may potentially sell to me. I want that. Because remember, you're selling something that's really valuable, and you are providing a service. You are providing something that person really wants. So there's no reason to get icky about it. But if you're transparent and upfront and say, it's not a pressured call, this is just a chance for us to see if we're a good fit, and you leave your monkey mind to just be quiet and go and play somewhere else, and you approach that sales call with a sense of detachment from the outcome, then it's a lot more enjoyable. I promise you, it really is. And actually, they're great ways to research your audience and to make sure that you are targeting the right people, you're using the right words for your copy, and all of those good things. So when you are looking at why you may not be getting enough calls, look at the numbers. How many do you actually need? Look at how you're positioning it. And then thirdly, how visible are you about telling people that you have this option? Are you putting it on your blog posts? Are you putting it in your videos? Are you telling people about it? This is really crucial. Do they know how to do it? Is your booking form all hidden on your website? Do they have to go looking for it? This is key. Are you being visible enough and letting people know that there's a way for them to book time with you to get to know you? I hope that's been useful for you today, and let me know if you'd like to book a Tiny Time Triage session with me. What I do is I walk you through my 5-step heat map process, which is essentially the 5 big problems that I see lots of business owners struggling with when it comes to running a profitable 20-hour-week business. So that's my triage, and what I want to do is help you to understand where you may be struggling. And I have programs and services that enable us to be able to plug those gaps in your business. And so if it feels like a good fit, if it feels like it's something that they want to know more about, then I tell them. It's as simple as that. We don't need to get all antsy about sales or about having a sales call. It's just a way of service. And as long as you keep that in your mind and stay detached from the outcome, I promise you it'll be so much more enjoyable and so much more comfortable. All right, my lovely, I will post the link below for you to book your Tiny Time Triage call, and let me know your comments and thoughts below as well. And I look forward to seeing you the next time. Take care.